Right, let me get this camera holding. That's it. Have we got this camera straight? No, we haven't. It ain't going well today. It's not working. There we go. So for those eagle eyes of you would notice by now that I've shaved my head. I have. I've had a bit of a lockdown hairdo. Barbers ain't going to be open for a long time. And my hair needed a cut anyway. It's still really thin. Even though it's thicker, that doesn't make much sense, but it does if you know what chemo coals are. But Covidiots, if you clicked on this video, you're watching Real Talk. I'm Chris. It is Friday, the 3rd of April 2020, and we're about 2, maybe 3 weeks away in the UK from the top of the curve, as Boris Johnson would say, the top of the curve. And we need to make sure that we stay home. Don't go out and watch reruns of Jeremy Kyle while protecting our NHS and saving lives. But yeah, that's what we need to do. But the thing is, I've got a bit of an issue with all this. I don't mind staying home. I mean, yes, I am high risk. I've been given my orders. I've done this video already. But I have to have my exercise, and I am allowed exercise from what I can gather, and I have to walk the dog, otherwise he will end up shitting in the house. And I will end up reading a lot of these comments. Please let me get round to it. I want to get my point across today because I'm rambling. I'm kind of annoyed. So as I was saying, I don't mind staying at home. I've got an abundance of time. You see, I have time. I keep on top of the housework, which I always do anyway. Keeping on top of it. Well, we share the burden on that. But I like, when I've got bugger all else to do, I like to do a bit of housework. It's just what I do. So the place is looking remarkably immaculate, as I would imagine most people's houses at this time are. Okay, there's only so much computer games I can play, and to be fair, Monday to Friday, I don't even play computer games or Xbox, PlayStation or PC. I don't do it Monday to Friday because my kids are too busy doing schoolwork and they have the attention span of a budgie when it comes to electricals. So even then, all I have really to occupy my time, other than housework, other than keeping an eye on my kids and doing their schoolwork, is scrolling through social media and YouTube. As I'm pretty sure you've done it exactly what you're doing right now, is you're sitting at home, you're either sitting on the sofa while your wife's watching some weird soap rerun, or you're either in the bath or in bed or sitting on the toilet. That's exactly what you're all doing. And you've scrolled through YouTube and you've gone, who's this bloke talking to me now? Who is this talking about Covidiots? Well, I'm getting to that. So obviously, as I've scrolled through Facebook, I've seen nothing but post after post after post of people somehow, in the weird scheme of things, managed to link COVID-19, coronavirus, to 5G. The link has been made, people, by Covidiots. Now, let me get this straight, because I've been arguing with people on Facebook over this exact issue. People are telling me, people that I know personally, that 5G is the worst thing in the world. 5G, they're saying, has caused COVID-19. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, apparently COVID-19 is the byproduct of 5G, because according to some people, we had the virus either dormant in our bodies to start with, and 5G activated it, apparently, or, and you'll love this, apparently COVID-19 was injected directly into the bloodstream, according to some twonk from Australia. And for those of you that watch this channel and you saw my latest post of a bloke with a bald head and a big bushy beard, this is that same twonk who says that COVID-19 cannot be caught. He's saying, this Covidiot, that it can only be passed on through blood. Okay, Okay, Mr. Idiot, then explain to me, please, how every continent and almost every country in the world has cases of COVID-19. Explain to me how piss poor countries with people that live in shanty towns that have no access to any medical equipment, let alone means of having said equipment injected into their body to put a virus into their bloodstream. Explain to me how that happens. It doesn't. It doesn't happen. Okay? It doesn't happen. This is literally a virus which is now in the air. And for those of you that can't distinguish or find the difference between common sense and idiocy, this is the common sense part. If you don't know how it went from bats to humans, I will explain it to you. There is a bat in China, or wherever this bat may be. This bat carries the virus. It has the virus. It has probably lived with it for a very long time, even maybe have its own immunity towards it. But to transfer said virus between bat and human is not possible. No, it needs either a bridging species or an accelerator animal in order to be the bridge between, so the virus can mutate first. So what it done is these bats that were caught and taken to wet markets in Wuhan, see, we're getting there now, where these animals are then killed at the market, hence why they are called wet markets. Virus then leaves said dead animal, i.e. bat, where blood is then either dripped or passed in some dirty, nasty, unhygienic way to a pangolin, which is a small ant-eating type of creature with scales, at which point this virus mutates within said creature in order to take hold of its physiology and multiply within that creature. It mutated, and then from pangolin it had already mutated enough for interspecies jump. It then went from pangolin to human, and it more than likely would have taken quite a few mutations to get to the human form of COVID-19 or that type of coronavirus. And once it was adapted for human physiology, it then spread. You see, think of any virus. Okay, for those Trekkies out there, think of a virus much like the Borg from Star Trek, with adaptive shielding. Think about it. Okay, you shoot it once, you know, you're gonna kill it. You shoot it twice, you're gonna hit it. You shoot it a third time, it's going to adapt. With a virus, it can be passed on, your body will more than likely kill it. It'll be passed on again, you know, another human will probably kill it. Third time, it's probably going to mutate and take hold. You see, this is what happens there. Okay, and I do apologise for not reading any of the comments at the moment because I am walking the dog and I have got my phone attached to my finger with my arm up in the air and I can't reach the screen with my thumb because it's just not long enough. But there are idiots out there drawing the conclusion that COVID-19 is man-made. And don't get me wrong, I'm well versed in all the conspiracy theories out there. I've read them all. I have, about Bill Gates creating the coronavirus, about there being a lab in Wuhan that created it, blah, 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 blah. What people don't realize and what they're still not understanding is that COVID-19 is a type of coronavirus, the same as MERS is a form of coronavirus, the same as SARS is a type of coronavirus. Hell, even the flu is a type of coronavirus. But those were all known to people, okay? These were viruses that were known, viruses that were given a chance to be worked on, viruses that have a vaccine or a treatment or a cure. COVID-19 is completely new. It is completely new. So the fact that there are patents out there for vaccines for coronavirus is not very specific, is it? It's very broad. The different types of coronaviruses have different treatment and or vaccines for the different types of virus that there are. There happens to be no vaccine or valid treatment at the moment for COVID-19 coronavirus. So please let me just clear that up right now. And oh, by the way, when there is a cure or a treatment or vaccine for COVID-19, you will not have to pay for it. It will be free. So the fact that people are starting to spin, the pharma companies, the pharmaceutical firms, they're all going to make money. Yeah, more than likely from the respective governments that want to pay or that have to pay for this to stop this thing from, you will get it for free eventually. I'm not going to say you'll get it for free straight away, but sooner or later you will have your little jab, and it will probably become an annual thing like the flu jab. You see, get your coronavirus jab, get your COVID-19 jab, get your CV jab is what they'll call it, the CV. So I just wanted to dispel that. Okay, now I'm going to move on to Covidiots and 5G. 5G is about as harmful, and I've had this argument twice this week, by the way, on Facebook with two different people that just don't understand what they're talking about. So when people say to me, or I read, that 5G is dangerous, 5G killed my cat, 5G made my hair fall out, 5G drained the battery in my electric vehicle. Really? Okay, if you say so. Okay, now the reality of 5G is 5G is the 5th generation of telecommunication wavelength, basically, bandwidth. You know, just the way information is carried along airwaves into cellular devices, you see, and it can operate at a base frequency of 700 megahertz up to average to a high frequency of 27 to even 40 gigahertz. Okay, that is the frequency range for 5G. And there's people out there saying that that is comparable to a microwave. Okay, okay. So let's just assume for a minute that that was the case. Let's just assume that 5G does operate on the same frequency and wavelength as a microwave. Let's just say that's true, just for the sake of saying it's true. What makes you think that's actually dangerous? Well, for a start, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. I'll tell you why. Just imagine for a sec, if you will, being on a beach. Imagine you're standing on the shore and you've got waves lapping at your feet every 2 seconds. Gentle waves pushing at your feet. It's quite nice, isn't it, having waves, gentle, soft waves every couple of seconds on your feet. Now imagine every 2 seconds those waves got a little bit harder. Okay, so they're going to get a little bit bigger, but they're still every 2 seconds. Okay, this is called frequency and wavelength. Yes, it is the time it takes for the wave, the top and the peak and trough of the wave to go past a certain point. It doesn't matter how tall it is because it's hitting your feet every 2 seconds. Okay, that is the wavelength. Okay, and frequency. So the 2 seconds is the frequency. Okay, what you're missing now is the amplitude. Okay, so it's going to be quite fun having and quite relaxing having waves go across your feet every 2 seconds. You're not going to feel much of a difference. if you turn the volume up on that wave so that every 2 seconds you have a tidal motherfucking wave every 2 seconds, but every 2 seconds that wave hit you, okay, what you're then doing is having that same wave hit you very, very hard, but it's still the same frequency with the same wavelength. It just has a higher volume. You see where I'm going with this? Yeah, so imagine 5G, even if it had the same frequency and wavelength as a microwave, you're looking at the amount of power behind it, the amount of volume. You see, a microwave will cook your food. You could have 1,000,000 antennae across the entire country, having them all firing out same wavelength towards the same point. It wouldn't even make a bit of popcorn pop. Do you know why? Because the power behind that wavelength, the volume, the amplitude just isn't there. I'm telling you, 5G is about as harmful as a spoonful of tomato sauce, ketchup. It is not dangerous. All you fear-mongering Covidiots out there who more than likely think the earth is flat, and that also makes you a flattard, just remember the same argument came out about 4G. Do you remember that? The dangers of 4G. And what happened with 4G? Sweet fuck all. Isn't it? Nothing happened with 4G. I'm streaming to you live across the world right now with a 30-second delay because of 4G. And I like it. If this phone I was using was 5G and they offered it to me for free, I would take it, because it would make absolutely no difference to my health or anyone else's health. It just means that I'd be able to receive and send information a lot quicker. Ah, oh God, I hate being right all the time. God, I think I'm getting a bit of a semi, just being right all the time. It's annoying. It is when I'm right about something, and I try, and it's not even a case of arguing, because you can't argue with idiots. You can't. It's impossible to argue with it, because people that are wrong about something and they believe they're right with every fibre of their being, even if you prove them wrong with irrefutable proof, I'm telling you, they will still deny the fact that you are right, and they will still argue with you. I'm telling you, this guy was banging on about the link about 5G and COVID-19. This Australian, he said he had all these qualifications. Okay, where did you get them from? A lucky bag? Or did you get them with your Joe 90 badge out of a box of cereal? I don't know where you got these qualifications from, my friend, but you have no clue about what you're talking about. None. None! And there was a woman on Facebook earlier. Well, I can't remember her name. I wish I could. And she was saying, well, a friend of a doctor's of an aunt's uncle's wife, twice removed niece, dog said to Fran down the street 5G was bad because it gave her uncle's aunt's nephew's niece, uncle's hermaphrodite grandmother COVID-19, and she got it and died within 24 hours. All within a day of getting a new 5G phone. Oh my God. Really? You're going to draw the conclusion to that? Really? And I'm not even making this shit up. I wish I was making this shit up. I really do. I really do. People out there of the world, yes, there is a virus out there. Yes, it is killing people. Yes, it is not nice. It is going to be difficult. We are all going to suffer one way or another. I'm telling you. How's lockdown going for me? Well, I have to walk the dog, to be fair, but this is the only chance I get out of the house. And there's no one around, look. Or maybe that guy. But it just gets on my nerves. It just gets on my nerves. I've lost my trail of thought. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I've lost my trail of thought. Nah. But that's it, yeah, you can't make this shit up. I'm telling you. I try so hard to be the voice of reason 99.9% of the time. I try so hard to find meaning in something, to try and see the sensible side of someone's argument. I even try a majority of the time to be empathetic to people, to see things from their point of view. I really do. To see things from their side, to take my feet and put them in someone else's shoes and look at it from a distance and go, who's that? Charlie? Hello, mate. Just to see things and just try and get people's arguments. I do. This time, I can't. I can't see people's arguments being valid or having any kind of intelligence when they try and link 5G to COVID-19. There is no link between, if anything, it's a coincidence. And to be fair, 5G isn't even that new. It's been developed a long time ago, was rolled out in Eastern countries years ago. Where was COVID-19 then? Tell you where it was. Up a bat's arsehole is where it was. And then some poor fucker decided to catch one. Yeah, take it to a wet market, kill it, and then cross-contaminate the blood of that species with another poor animal called a pangolin, where that poor fucking creature then got slaughtered by someone's dirty fucking hands, and then some poor bastard ate the fucking thing. Or it was just, you know, someone touched their face, or what have you. And by the way, yes, you can spread it by coughing and sneezing in people's faces. And this is what this guy with the beard was saying. You can't spread it with a cough or a sneeze. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. In fact, I'd be willing to give this guy all of my money. I would give this guy all of my money if he is completely healthy right now, for him to sit in front of someone who has COVID-19 and allow them to cough all over his face and then lick him. Lick him in an open wound, yeah? And see if he doesn't get it then. I will give him all of my money if he stays healthy. Because I guarantee within 2 weeks, he'll fucking have it. And then we'll see if you can't catch it through coughs and sneezes then. What a wanker. Honestly. What a fucking melt. There's people out there, I'm pretty sure, that have got the IQ sometimes of a wet flannel. A wet flannel. I'm telling you, it's like someone got a yogurt pot, you know, Greek yogurt. It's supposed to be quite firm, and gave it a damn good shake. And then got a spoon to it, stuck a spoon into the pot, and gave it a good old stir, and then said, "Look at me! I'm clever! I'm very clever, look! I'm intelligent! I messed up my yogurt! I'm just like a yogurt! Look! COVID-19! Ooh! 5G! Oh! Yogurt! This is the arguments I'm having with people. This is how intelligent people are. This is the sort of shit I see on Facebook on a daily basis. And at the moment, apart from watching the news, it's the only entertainment I've got. Really. I'll tell you what, there's one thing I cannot wait for in 7 days, is the official release of Final Fantasy VII, the remake. And for those gamers out there, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, that's going to take up some of my time. I may even hermit myself. Oh my God. You know what's really annoying is the fact that even doing my exercise right now, I'm not allowed to go within 1.5 miles out of the catchment area of my home. Those are the rules. Those are the rules of being on lockdown, apparently. So no more 5-mile walks for me. No sirree, Bob. Now I have to, because of social distancing and lockdown. Oh, and by the way, lockdown was caused by Covidiots also. It was. People were told, we were told, keep your distance from people and try not to travel if you can. Avoid public places and do not gather in groups of more than 4 people at a time and blah, 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 blah. It was common sense. Bearing in mind, as you've probably seen in one of my previous videos, I would have had this whole country on lockdown 2 weeks prior to what we went on lockdown, and I would have done it with a lot more force. But you know, I call that tough love, and I've been through that video also. It's tough love. But because people didn't listen, because people thought it would be a great idea when we had a little bit of sunshine to go and top up the driver's tan in the park, you know, let's all go to the beach. COVID-19 will never think to look for me at Brighton Pier. Oh, because people decided to do that all across the country, now everywhere is shut down. Can't go for a coffee, can't go for a McDonald's, can't go for a KFC. Hell, at this point, with the lockdown going the way it's going, I'd be surprised if people would be allowed to go for a wank. But there we go. There we go. Thank you, Covidiots, for not using an ounce of common sense. Thank you very much for helping people lose their jobs, Covidiots. And, you know, there we go. And still not listen, says RS. This is very true. And after everything, people still don't listen. Anyway, look, I have got a lot to rant on about at the moment, but I don't really have that much time because I am nearly home. So what I'm going to say to everyone is this: please stay home, stay safe. Do not believe everything you see on social media, please. And if you do end up coming across a Covidiot online who happens to think that 5G caused COVID-19, you send them my way or explain to them the reality of what actually is happening. You know, if you see things that people, you just know people aren't listening or have no clue what they're talking about when it comes to 5G and wavelength, amplitude and frequency and all that good stuff. Yeah, you know, just tell them. Tell them from me, you're a cunt. Anyway, please stay safe, stay in, stay healthy. Much love. See you later. Mwah.